Guys, the Outback Steakhouse, let me tell you. True, even though it's a commercial place or a franchise, whatever, let me tell you, the steak, the meat, even the chicken, like, I know it's a steakhouse, but I come here and I've always loved their chicken. Baked potato soup, salads are always evenly mixed, not too plentiful, not too skimpy. Had to treat myself to a nice solo dinner. I don't usually go out to places like this by myself. But you know, I'm all on my lonesome. When I say I'm on my lonesome here in Houston, I don't have I don't want to say friends, because it's really hard for me to consider somebody a friend. You know, I guess the guys that I consider, there's really only a few guys that I consider my friends, like from my hometown, you know, like my buddy Spencer. He's a year older than me. He's 33. He lives 2-3 hours on the other side of Florida from where I was living. So, you know, he never would let me record with him on YouTube, but he's going to have to suck it up because he's coming on a road trip with me in a couple of months here. So, yeah. So I've known him since early middle school, like 6th grade. And then my buddy Dylan, same thing. We've known each other since we were like 10, 11 years old. So there's some of my other guy friends, you know, they're still kind of caught up in the same nonsense and the same lifestyle. So that's them, and that's just life. Like, I can't just say screw. I mean, I guess I could. I just don't want to say screw everybody just because they're not on the same level as me. You got to balance how often you hang out with these people. So if you're a college kid watching this or in high school, some of the people that you're sitting with right now watching this YouTube video, or the guy, you know, your boys you be chilling with every Friday night, Saturday night, like, live that shit up, man. Live it up. But try not to get addicted to drugs. Try, like, smoking, drinking, that's cool, but be careful becoming an alcoholic, because honestly, the alcoholics usually end up worse than a lot of the heroin addicts and crackheads and people. Like, it's very rare that people recover from these things, especially before you go too far in life. But, yeah, this video, guys, I'm going to do a little, give you guys a little insight on my background and, where I came from and where I'm going, so you guys can better understand. Like, you know, I'm in Texas now. You know, I just lived in Florida for a year and a half, and lived in Rochester, upstate New York, most of my life. You know, I lived with my parents, pretty standard middle class upbringing. I played a ton of sports. I played baseball really well. I played baseball for school. I played football for school, but only for a year. I only did football for a few years. I never played basketball. I never played hockey. I played lacrosse for a year. I didn't like it. But baseball, I played from the time I was an infant all the way up until high school. Yeah, so I was always really athletic. But what ended up happening was I became a skateboarder around the age of 12, and then I was playing baseball a lot and skateboarding. So those were my two main things. I was never into lifting weights. I was never cared to lift weights. I did go to the gym and had gym memberships when I was a teenager in high school and into my 20s, but I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't trying to really gain muscle. I just kind of went to go, you know, like. But, you know, my parents divorced when I was 13. By the time I was 14, I lived with my mother. I didn't have a ton of regulation with my mother. She was very laid back, very kind person. So I lived with her. And it wasn't just because she was a laid back individual. My father, and I know he doesn't watch these videos. My family doesn't watch YouTube. But I'm not going to talk bad about my father. My dad's dad died when he was 9 years old, so I never even met my real grandfather on his side. And my dad grew up in the hood, man, the hood of Rochester. So my dad definitely had a really bad upbringing, and that definitely carried over into him trying to raise me, because my parents divorced when I was 13, and up until that point, it was always my mother doing the things with me and my sister. I have a sister who's 2 years older than me. She's 34. She has a boyfriend who's a gym teacher, I believe, in Fairport. And she has a decent job working from home, working for 𝐂𝐸𝐶. She was a cheerleader in high school. She was the popular girl. She was the party girl. I was more of an outcast, outlaw type dude until I was in like 10th, 11th grade. And then I flipped the script. I started cutting my hair. I started dressing nicer. And by the time I was a senior, guys, ending my senior year, I was hooking up. I'll just say it, man. I was a pig. I was hooking up with a different chick probably every single night from like 18 to 21. The summer when I was 18 years old, I was dating a girl all my junior year, all senior year, and going into I broke up with her right before the end of my senior year. I ended up going to summer school for one class. That was the best summer ever. I partied. I sold a hell of a lot of weed. I smoked a lot of weed. I was the weed man in high school. Let me tell you. I wasn't selling pounds and pounds and pounds, but honestly, guys, when I was 18 years old, I worked part-time at Delta Sonic Car Wash, part-time at Pontillo's Pizzeria, making good money doing that. And then I was doing the other thing on the side. I'm just being real with you. I was making about $1,000 a week when I was 18 years old, and I let money and women go to my head at such an early age, or I probably would have been so much more successful at a way younger age. And I had these highs and these crazy highs and lows. I never worked consistently for a 9 to 5. I think the most consistent 9 to 5 I worked for was from high school into my early mid 20s was when I worked at Delta Sonic. I worked there for many years, all through high school. I saved my money for my first car. In 10th grade, I had a black Pontiac Bonneville, all leather, blue halogen lights when they just started making them, and you had to buy them for your car if you wanted them. It was considered an upgrade. I always had big 12-inch subs in my trunk, or the loudest 10s that you could get. The car was knocking, guys. You knew when I was coming. You heard me from half a mile down the road or a mile away. That's how loud my sound system was. I had that thing cranked. So I was driving around, smoking bud, selling bud, chilling with chicks. Like, my car would be full of women, guys. Like, it was crazy. So I ended up becoming a drug addict. Not a drug addict. I just got too obsessed with partying and I was doing other drugs and stuff too, obviously. But it wasn't until I got into a car accident at 20, going to my 21st birthday, and I had split my head open. That's why I got this scar right here. I had passed out at the wheel, taking a bunch of stuff and was drinking. Mind you, I was never a big drinker, but it was just this one night. It was crazy. I fell asleep at the wheel. Cops found me. Luckily, I never got in trouble because I was so hurt and I was young. I got flown to the hospital in a helicopter because my head was split open and I was bleeding out. That's how dire emergency it was. So I survived that. And then I got addicted to painkillers because they gave me painkillers. And then fast forward a year or two, now I'm like 23 years old. I started trying heroin because once I ran out of my script, I started going to other places for pills. And then once those people ran out of their scripts, they started doing heroin. And I was addicted, man. I wanted to get high all the time. And I was still doing my thing, trying to sell weed while being a heroin addict. And what would happen was I would make money, but as my addiction got worse, my profits would go straight to that. So I would be re-upping and stuff, and all my re-up money and profit money would just go to dope. And eventually I just couldn't even re-up anymore because I was just pinching pennies like crazy. I wasn't even giving people good deals on weed anymore. So I became the heroin addict. In 2015, when I was 25 years old, I got arrested 4 or 5 times in a period of 6 months, driving without a license multiple times, lots of dumb traffic stuff. Webster police in my hometown in Rochester were on my ass, on my friends' asses. They knew me and a lot of my friends were selling and stuff like that. So mind you, in the mid-late 2000s, Webster, a lot of you Webster young guys watch this, the cops weed was illegal, man. You got in trouble if you even had a roach on you. You could go to jail for it. Now it's legal as hell. You can it's almost like you can just smoke and drive your car. I swear to God, weed is so relaxed. New York is so lax now when it comes to weed. It almost reminds me of Denver, guys. Seriously, go look up the Natives. Go find the Natives by Buffalo if you want the best freaking prices for the best quality. Those Natives out there in Tonawanda, they will hook you up. Man, I won't even go into that. But it's legal. It's weed. Who gives a shit? Like, if someone's got a problem with me talking about it, hop off this channel, man. I'm just being honest and open with you guys to let you guys know, to better understand this journey. You got to know where I came from and where I'm going. And it's hard for me to even understand because I don't fully know where I'm going yet. I know I'm going somewhere higher and higher consistently. I just don't know how high it's going to go. I'm just going to keep driving energy into it like I have been. I always knew I was a special person, guys. I always knew that there was something special about me. I always had that humble openness, even from a young age, but I was trying to blend in with people that weren't like that. So I was always trying to fit my reality to what I thought other people's wanted, what other people wanted out of me, and that's usually what most people do. My best advice to you is to be you. The things that you think in your head that you want to say, that you sometimes are afraid to say at times, say it. The more you say it and the more you do it, the less guilty you'll feel about yourself and hurting other people's feelings. Trust me, you'll be able to identify which people actually like you, truly enjoy you and your persona and your personality, just like I figured out in my life. Even though I'm here in Houston and I don't really have good friends here like I do back home. And you know, even John was someone I made good friends with, the bodybuilding vegan. Shout out, man. Me and John done came a long way. I was saying, man, he had a post up showing the last couple years. I'm like, John, we've known each other for a while. Wow, like, life is crazy. Life is honestly just crazy. So, all right, we fast forward to you know what? I'm about to go shopping. I'm going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger until I'm done at Walmart. Alright guys, so I am in Walmart buying some new stuff. But I'm not buying too much yet because I still got to wait 2 days to get in. But I'm looking at coffee pots, cookingware, silverware. This is some grown man shit. Let's get after it. Alright, this is quite fun. I got the Scrub Daddy. These things are amazing in case you haven't had them. You know, this is my first time ever shopping for all these goods for a home, and I'm not sure if I'm annoyed yet or if I'm having fun. I think it's both. I'm annoyed and I'm having fun. And can you imagine that? When are you in life ever annoyed and at the same time having fun? I guess I'm just making shit up as I go. Alrighty, what up, y'all? I am back. That was crazy. Listen, I was at Walmart and, you know, I'm going through the aisles and I'm packing up my cart with stuff and I'm thinking, I've got this, right? Like, of course I got it. Like, I'm not about to say that I don't got it, but after spending $177 today on just the frying pans and the towels and washcloths and the stuff for my kitchen, the sink, you know, for dishes and bath floor mats and stuff like that. I literally only bought certain things and it was still almost $200, and I bought it from Walmart. And some of the stuff was quality that I bought and some of it was just not quality. Like the cookingware and pots and pans and stuff, you don't want to get the cheapest shit that they got. That's stuff that you want to be kind of in the mid-range with the money. But like maybe silverware, maybe plates, certain things like that. The difference between $3 and $4, man, save your money. Yeah, I think the last thing that I had said, let's get back to the life story, right? And I'm freaking tired and sore. This bed. Oh, by the way, real quick, look at this drastic difference. Look at how drastic of a difference this is, guys, compared to, although I will say the bathroom is actually nicer than the suite. Damn, that is one handsome gentleman. I know you. This is considerably smaller, obviously, but you guys saw me at the Holiday Inn. I really got the damn hookup. Do the damn hookup at the Holiday Inn. We going to the Holiday Inn, me and your friends. Ayo, true story. The Holiday Inn really does, that song has true meaning to life when it comes to a guy like me. But the past is the past. Doesn't matter if it was 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago. We keep it pushing with new experiences. So the last thing I had said about my life was that I had gone to prison, right? So I don't want to spend too much time talking about prison, but let's just say it wasn't as bad as people thought. That was the place that turned me into a goddamn savage. That was the place that put the fitness dream all into perspective, because once I started getting strong and jacked in prison, mind you, New York State prison system has bench presses, barbells, plates, machines, dumbbells, and in the inside gym part and outside in the yard. You have a freaking fenced-in area with a metal roof over it at every single jail. I swear to God, every single prison, they had that. And you could go in there for an hour. You'd have to get locked in by COs, they'd be watching you. And I got jacked, man. I got jacked in prison, and that was what really... that's what really propelled me to get to where I am now. So when I was in prison, I took a masonry class. I had to take a drug and alcohol class. I had a job working in gyms, moving weights, cleaning weights. Like, it was cool. It's honestly a lot cooler than people think. Like, people are smoking cigarettes in jail because in New York, you can get tobacco sent in. I swear to God, you can get cigarettes sent in. You can buy them on commissary. They even sell protein powder and carb powder and certain supplements on certain commissaries at certain prisons by Animal Pack Nutrition. Can you imagine that? Steffi Cohen was sponsored by freaking Animal Pack Nutrition, and I was getting these products in prison, sold in prison, I swear to God. But anyways, fast forward to prison. I get out, right? I'm 28 years old, June 2019. I just spent 3.5 years in prison after having a heroin addiction from 22, 23 up until that point. I went in at 25. So a couple years, about 2-3 years I had that heroin addiction. So it wasn't too long, but that's all I was doing every single day. It just went downhill and led to prison. So I get out of prison and I'm living in a freaking, I'm on welfare, guys. I'm literally on welfare. My parents gave me tough love and said, figure it out. All these other people get free welfare, food stamps, all the benefit stuff. So they're like, why don't you do it until you can get on your feet, da-da-da-da-da. Man, I tried it, guys. And my rent was $400. I was living in a building with 10 other grown-ups who were all freaking crackheads. I wasn't there with any kids or any good people. It was all freaking crackheads, alcoholics, people yelling and screaming at night. There were so many times I almost got in a fight because I freaking just couldn't sleep because people were loud. It was pretty crazy. And I was dating my girlfriend at the time, who I started dating 6 months after I got out of prison, who I had known her since high school. So I guess you could say it was kind of like a high school sweetheart type situation. And I worked at Mark's Pizzeria, where I worked 10 years prior, which was a freaking damn joke. 30 years old, 29 years old. Working at a pizza shop with kids 10 to 15 years younger than me, telling me what to do, who are my superiors. Fuck out of here. Anyways, so I had gotten really tired of all of this. Things were not going good for me. New York is very strict on felons. It doesn't matter how pretty my face is or how nice my hair is or how good I am at talking. I'm so much better at talking now than I was then. So obviously, if I had to redo the situation and fitness didn't exist for me, I'd have to find another way to make money, and I would have, but I probably wouldn't have been as happy. So I go to put in to get I'm on parole, 5 years felony probation, or 5 years felony parole in New York. So I got my transfer, numerous transfers. I got 3 of them denied, and the 4th one I finally got accepted and moved to Florida with my lady, March 2021. I started my Instagram January 2020, right? And I was recording videos and posting every day. It was garbage. I was posting with my phone on the floor, all that stuff. And some guy reached out to me May 2021 about some marketing services, helping get my account into the algorithm, the Explore page. Spent some money on a service to do that. And within weeks, I was getting retagged and reposted on stories of bigger brands. What else happened? I got my first contract under FNX. By the way, Adrian Conway here, piece of shit. Many of my athletes have been sponsored by your company, and I'm just saying right here on this video that your company sucks. You guys are not real athletes. You guys are not humble. You guys don't have heart. You guys don't give a shit about no one else. And I'm not going to spend much time talking about it, but if you see me, go ahead and say something or do something about it, because we know you're not a real God-fearing man. All that stuff about love and care. You only care about yours and you and yours. You're a freaking millionaire, and all you care about is you and yours, and you just screw other athletes, make them give permission to their profiles so you can dig through their messages and do your little thing to try to get ambassadors from people that don't even lift weights. Come on, man. So I was under contract with this company for a couple weeks and they let me go, but it was just the point that I had gotten part of a company, obviously a sleazebag company, you stupid schmucks. Dude, you know what? I really hope they see this, because I would love for this dude to pull up on me because I know he's not going to do it. I'm not going to go out of my way to do it either, but best believe if I saw him, I'd be like, "Hi, Twinkle Toes, how you doing?" So, Cutler Nutrition, I was an ambassador for them, a bunch of other companies, and I mean, quite a few people had seen my come up while I was on the fitness journey, but I had gained a bunch of weight because I had a short relapse from heroin there when I was in New York, and then I moved to Florida and got cleaned up. It was very short, a couple months, but I basically lost all my muscle and got back out of shape. So that's why it took me so long to get to the place where I'm at now. And truth be told, I've never even been that jacked before as I am now, and in as good a shape as I am now, and as strong. So, you know, that was, you know, that's really a lot of it right there, guys. Like, I was an athletic person as a kid. I wasn't really a troublemaker until I was in my 20s, and it wasn't like I was robbing random people that I didn't know or hurting people I didn't know. I never made women do anything that they didn't want to do. I've never hit a woman. I've never done anything like that. I've never been that type of guy. I've always been the type of guy who, if a chick liked me or they liked me, we were going to hang out and do our thing. If not, and I'm more that way than ever, I don't even really care anymore about, you know, obviously people care about sex and having intimacy and feelings, but it's just not a priority to me right now. I don't even really care about that shit, man. After screwing an NFL player's wife and divorcing her and making that marriage go sour, and a host of other dog out moments I had last year that we're not going to speak about, you know, I lived life, so I'm good. I really, really lived it up last year, and, you know, when comes time to write a book, I'll write about some of those experiences that I went through. But ultimately, I ended up hurting my ex-girlfriend who I had broken up with not that long ago. And I had to realize after the fact how much I actually hurt her. You know, I didn't think it was cool as an influencer to have a girlfriend. And I was just hard, man. It's hard grappling with social media and figuring out who's there for you and who's not there for you. You think everybody's against you. No one's really there for you, da-da-da. So I figured it out now, and I'm doing well, and that's why I'm sitting here speaking to you guys about the experience. So, yeah, I said under 20 minutes, but we're over 20 minutes, so I'm going to end it right here and post this video. And I hope you guys are doing well, and just know that going forward, if you have seen this video, I'm all about love. I'm going to love you even if you hate me, unless you really come out of pocket and say something really stupid that merits a response from me or consequential actions from me, because I am not going to sit back and just take it. If someone gets truly disrespectful for no reason, or you do something really nasty, I've road tripped the country 10 times now, so anybody knows that if I see you in a gym or I got a problem with you, you better kick my ass or shoot me. You know, I don't want to fight, but if you want to get tough about it, we can do that. I'm not always trying to be a tough guy or a mean guy. I'm not trying to be. But best believe I'll pull out that thing if I got to. Look at this smile. Do I look like I would do that? Try your luck, fool. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate you if you watch this whole video. There's so many more exciting things on the way in life right now, so please subscribe to the channel, and hopefully in the next few months we can get this YouTube channel popping off, because it sucks right now. All right, guys, take care.